here we are. Clap. Episode 4. Time passed. Fuck it. I can't.
Of the Time Capsule Podcast.
Time Capsule Pod. What the fuck was I trying to say?
I don't know.
Timecast Podstool? Postule?
Cast.
Yes. Okay, well, what's on the agenda today?
Today, we are going to be talking about The Matrix 4 skin, Amazon 5-star reviews. We got to keep things positive.
Yeah.
And an anecdote from our hometown and just general lunacy.
Oh, lunacy. Okay. I have not heard this anecdote, so it's going to be new for everyone but the storyteller.
Maybe even new to me. Maybe I'll discover something
You just
along the way.
discover new things. You'll just make stuff up.
Yeah.
You think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies.
No.
That's good. That you should believe the sincerity of every person you meet online. I do. And that's why I'm always upvoting those sob stories on music videos that say, my girlfriend died to this song. Which I fucking... I have to hold back myself from just writing very not nice things. That's why I'll go.
Why do you want to write not nice things?
Because they're so full of shit. Like, they're literally writing lies to garner fake sympathy from losers on the internet. And I want to be, like, the pendulum is... Because, like, a bunch of comments are like, oh my god, you're so brave. And he's getting all these updravens and feeling good, or she, I don't know. And I want to be the counterbalance. I want to bring this person back to reality.
Okay, so you're the jocker of YouTube comments.
Yeah, I'm unironically to jocker, you know? You know? That's exactly it. I'm bitter because I don't go around on the internet portraying how hashtag damaged I am and how much my mom's gonna freak, and I'm not getting those fake karma points. Even though I deserve them, they're stealing my valor.
Right.
You know? Okay.
Right.
So, I saw The Matrix a while ago. When did you see The Matrix?
I mean, it's been a while now, so this is gonna be a really good, thorough, in-depth review.
I don't think we'll miss any plot beats at all.
No, and we're really striking when the iron's hot too.
Yeah, it's also very timely because we just had a big awards ceremony, and I didn't watch it. I assume The Matrix won in every category.
I think because they had to postpone the Oscars. Oscar couldn't attend last year and maybe even the year before.
Was he in rehab?
I think he was. Yes. Oh, I hear myself through.
Do?
Yeah.
Oh wait, 1 second. Okay, I can clip this out in the video after I upload it.
I mean, we could leave it in. I think that's funny.
No, I'll just. I'll do what I did last time. I'll turn my speakers down, and I'll move my mic away. Okay, how's this? Scream really loud.
Okay, I'm screaming really loud.
Okay, perfect.
I don't hear myself.
Okay, perfect. I just need to turn my speakers back up because I barely hear you myself.
I wonder when that happened. Oh, I hear it now.
Now what the fuck? Oh my god.
What the hell's happening?
I don't understand. Yeah, why is that?
Yeah, it's nothing I can do. Like if
Can
I turn
you,
let me. No, I do not hear it now.
That's weird that it just started happening. Wait, let me aim the microphone straight at my face. Okay. So anyway, The Matrix.
Yeah. So Oscar couldn't. Well, I don't know where. Turns out, last year Oscar couldn't attend, so they decided to just postpone the whole event. But this year,
probably for the best. Award shows are bullshit.
Well, I mean, if you wanna be like true, yes, it's the dumbest thing. They're literally just congratulating themselves for winning the lottery. The
I never heard of the lottery part of it though, but that's very true.
Like, well, they did. I mean,
it's very much like a luck kind of thing.
It's either they won the genetic lottery where their parents are like tied to the system somehow and like got them either the gigs or were in a position where they could get their children to like audition for all this crap.
Yeah, and so you mean like the actors part of it, not like the whole movie. Like the creation of the whole movie is there's still something kind of to respect there. But the individual, like, oh, good job, like, actor person, like, there's so much luck that goes into that. Like, we shouldn't even acknowledge it.
Like being celebrity.
Yeah,
and
for
all
sure.
that
Yeah,
crap.
I totally agree. Like, you know, there's so many jack off videos about the work ethic of celebrities, but it's like it's easy to work when you have so much going for you. You
Yeah.
know, it's so much
Yeah.
harder when you have to like make the strive for your greatness between the moments of free time that you do have in your like, you know, fucking low to no wage fucking job. You know, like that's so much fucking harder.
Right. Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean, everyone has their own struggles. Like that's to like not take away that, but yeah.
but if you're a rich person, your struggles
It's
are immediately invalid. No, not really, but
a lot easier to
you know,
deal with, I'd
there's a
say.
context that comes with difficulty and suffering and struggling that people lose at the higher income brackets, unfortunately. Anyway, we
Absolutely.
haven't even talked about the movie yet. Let's just out of 10, where do you rate it? Where does it
Out of
land?
10? Well, it's that's kind of hard.
Okay, if is there a section you want to rate higher and it's like dragged down
Yeah.
by
Well,
something?
cause I feel like if you, well, not even section, like lens, I would say. Because if you look at it
Yeah.
in the lens of this is a lot of it is based as a big like meta commentary on either if you want to go like Hollywood in general or like the movie making process. I think it's a pretty good movie. Like
Yeah.
it's like making fun of the fact that they made this movie
Yeah,
through almost throughout it.
I one of the parts that gets to that the most is the montage after like, oh, Warner Brothers is gonna make Matrix sequel without us, or with us either
Or
way.
without, yeah.
And then it goes to that montage of all those different like kind of like boardroom exec
Yeah.
stand-ins who are pitching all these like really stupid fucking ideas,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
repeating themselves because like they're fixated on the one thing that they think made the movie good in the first place, and
Right.
they're all like individually wrong. Together they're kind of all correct, but they're so stupid about it.
Right.
The reason I bring up this scene is that it really gets into the meta commentary, because clearly this is the kind of shit that
Really.
probably the director lady had to deal with, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But that scene almost becomes it goes on for so long. And then having the characters repeat themselves so many times, I started getting aggravated. So it was very effective in achieving that.
Conveying that
That's
frustration.
I wouldn't even knock that against the film, because I feel like there are things later on in the film that undercut the meta commentary so hard that drop it off the face of the earth in terms of my appreciation of it. But I get why.
What do you mean, like the fact that it
I
just
think the
turns
movie
into
should
a
have
big
ended
dumb
differently.
action movie?
I think the movie should have ended. Also, yeah, the action was dog shit.
I mean, that's like a given. Like most like current day action scenes are like pretty superfluous and bad and stupid, and it's like there's just too much going on. Like maybe my brain is just too rotted, but I feel like I'm having a hard time like fully processing what's going on because there's too much stuff happening on the screen.
Yeah,
And it's like too hectic
absolutely.
and chaotic.
Absolutely. I'm thinking of the fight scene in the like fucking like wooden factory thing where there's like all those wood pieces everywhere and everyone's like
Yeah.
falling through different floorboards,
Yeah.
and the camera angles were like setting shot to shot under a character's toe, and then they were like working in like some gay love side plot where the one guy wanted to bang Neo or something. I don't know. There was so much shit going on in that
Yeah, I don't
scene.
know what was going on with that guy. I felt like that was like a seed for like they're gonna do more with that character
I thought
later,
that guy and
is
the
what it
girl he was
seemed
talking
like.
to were the same person. I thought they were like is that I thought like when that person went in the Matrix they were like two people or something. Because like they
What is?
seemed like they were like tied together.
Well, are you talking about that one guy who was like yelling? It was like he was almost like yelling off screen, like off the scene or whatever.
No, I don't.
He looked like a homeless dude in
No,
that
no, he
scene.
was he was one of like the ship compatriots
Oh,
in that
okay.
was helping like Neo. The real reason I bring that up is because in the first movie there's the character Switch, and Switch was supposed
Yep.
to be like a different gender in the Matrix than in the real life, and
Okay.
that was why her name was Switch. But in the end, they just she's just like a girl still, I believe, in the original movie. But she was supposed to originally be like a trans character.
Right.
So I thought they were doing something with that in this movie where they had a character who like literally was like two people in the Matrix or something, and he was like having this like back and forth with like his feminine half or something. Because like, mind you, there's so few time spent on these side characters that it's like I have to invent my own headcanon because there's not enough in the film to even like consider like what's the purpose of this person. Like the cast is a little bloated.
Well, that was actually part of the commentary too, because it seemed like when those people were having a conversation about whatever was happening, like at the moment, it seemed like that was like they were like audience surrogates.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they really are. There are long. That's a part of the film that I think could achieve super greatness if there was almost like a third veil, you know?
What do you mean?
So like there's like the first veil where Neo. There's the Matrix world, and then there's the quote real world. But what if there was another world?
Oh,
you know?
Okay.
Like to go so far beyond the pale of like what even is real that like the things that matter are what I experience, and there is no objective lens to affirm that. So I need to like value what I'm experiencing regardless of like the severity of whoever determines what is real, because like eventually you pull back to a point of such a detachment that it doesn't even matter. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just trying to find ways to like conclude the meta commentary, because I don't feel like the film has a meta commentary that goes anywhere.
Oh, definitely. It's just kind of there, and that's
and that was the part I loved the most about the beginning of the film.
Yeah,
the beginning is great.
It does kind of taper off. Definitely.
Although, let me ask you, what would you rate Neo's performance in this movie? Keanu Reeves.
Well, because I don't care that much, it's a 10/10 because he didn't care that much.
Oh, yeah. He feels like...
he was just kind of there.
I don't know if Keanu Reeves is a bad or good actor. He's had roles where he's good at, but in this movie it felt like he was asked to play a very introverted and emotional character, and he does not convey that well in this film at all. Like he's taking these like medications, and he's like having like anxiety problems, and he just feels like somebody who's like has been stoned every day of their life. And he's stoned now, but he like is still like the weed isn't working anymore. That's the kind of person he's portraying in the movie, essentially. Like he just seems like a stoner who like the weed isn't enough anymore, and he has all this anxiety. He's got all this anxiety because his performance is just so baffling. Like you have new Morpheus, who's like he's playing the character in the movie that he needs to play. And then you have Keanu, who like literally looks like he just showed up on set, was shown his lines, and he's just like, it's like he's playing in like a college like art house film where he's just like looking around and confused and like, what? No. And it's so drastically different. It's so drastically different.
Different from what?
From Keanu in the previous Matrix movies.
Okay.
Like,
well, he's a very different person.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing though, is that like he is a different person.
Capture that.
But like in the movie, I don't think his performance captures like a quality of difference there. Like I think the makeup and design is amazing. Okay. He definitely looks like a different person, even though I guess it's been like 100 years, or it's been like 50 years or something, right? But like Neo, he only looks like 20 years or 10 years older or something like that. Which is like a thing that they mention in the movie because they just need Niobe to be really old. Oh, I know why. And this was the thing that RLM in their review, they were like, I think they said was dumb, but like, because they needed to have another Zion that wasn't Zion.
Yeah.
And so like they needed to have a time skip in order for that to be plausible. So that's why Niobe's old. I hated Niobe's character. I could not understand anything she was saying, but I liked the kind of philosophical framework that her character presented in terms of like, oh, should we really even do this dumb shit anymore? Like, let's just live our whatever life, you know? You know? Like, and it seemed a little bit more rational. But then she goes back on all that shit, kind of, and she kind of like lets him go just because she's like, oh, well, it's the big audience needs the big dumb action finale, so let him go.
Yeah. Speaking of her, one of my favorite scenes was there was the girl who was like the captain of the ship. What was the Nebuchadnezzar 2? What was it called?
You mean the one in the movie? This one?
Yeah, this one.
I don't even remember her name. I just remember
ship.
she was Asian Captain Girl.
Okay, so Asian Captain Girl like volunteers herself, like says like I'll go on the mission, and then Niobe's like, well, you were already going to. And she's like, well, now I you don't have to make me go. I'll go. It was just this. It was written really awkwardly and goofy, but I felt like it was like an answer to, women have to have autonomy. Like she has to have a say. You can't just make her do it. Like it was a thing that seemed like it was like written as a response to what people would say would be a critique. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, that like.
See what I'm saying?
She's even despite being like forced to go, that like, yeah, that's interesting. I kind of viewed their society as being almost a little matriarchal, just because it seemed like the closest people to Niobe were all women. Was that correct? I don't even remember. But just like, yeah, that adding that extra agency in when it doesn't need to be there almost makes it in like an embarrassed anime scene where it's like,
yes,
oh my god, Baka, of course you're gonna go, Teehee senpai, like, I don't know.
It's a little over the top and silly. Oh, another thing in the city, I like the to make it like really sci-fi, they had the representation of people in the Matrix in the real world, but with those like magnet balls.
Beads.
Yeah, which is like real technology.
And that was the part that impressed me. I was like, oh, this is a real thing. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, cool.
And this is it was really cool. And I've seen it to a small degree in something else where it's like it's like a pit of beads and they like come up out of like a little like a jar. But I haven't seen it like they're like walking around doing shit. I was like, oh yeah, this is like really neat. Unfortunately, it's a cool idea that like it almost feels like it exists just for new Morpheus to show up and like get Neo, because like he just is like going through like pipes and shit, and he just like shows up out of like a drain, which was just so bizarre that like they just like he gets arrested. How did the maintenance
work? I guess is another question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you can nitpick a lot of shit in the film all day, because like there's a lot of little weird parts, and I don't generally overlook all of them. I don't really care. I did hate the Indian girl's every line of dialogue she had, I thought was terrible, which was a really disservice because she's a really important character. She's one of the characters that I remember from the sequels. She's a really important character.
Yeah.
And then they just like give her the worst like.
Well, it's just so like. This is the word of God now, I guess.
Yeah, she really is like the Deus Ex Machina character.
Literally, yeah.
Which was dumb because that's not even what she. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not even gonna get into that. Something I want to focus on. Something I liked. I liked the music in the film.
Okay.
I like the music because, like we said, the action scenes are a fucking mess. But something I appreciate is that the music actually paces the action, so like when there's like slowdowns in the action, because visually it's especially in that fight scene where they're in the wooden area and then Neo and Mr. Smith are recreating their fight in the sewer and they keep cutting back to the old movie. Yeah. There was like a moment there where that could have been really cool, but they needed to not cut back to the better movie.
Yeah. Well,
like so much. Yeah. Like it should have been like, maybe Mr. Smith man is like, he's reliving this because he needs to defeat something, showing a kind of like damaged psychology even in like the robot AIs or whatever. Like he needs to beat him, even though Neo is like, dude, I don't even know who you are, you know? Yeah. Like it's totally like a thing that like is totally purposeless, but it's really meaningful for like that one character. But in the end, I just remember the music. I was like, this action scene's going on forever, and thank God
it was way too long.
Yeah,
God, I hated it.
But yeah, my ultimate thing is like, I hated the way the movie ended. I thought Neo and Trinity should have had to like fuse into like one person. I thought that's where the film was going, because there's so much trans stuff that the movie talks about. There's so many trans phrases that the movie includes into it, and then near the end, they don't do anything with it, and I totally get it. There's no way the studio is going to go for anything that's going to like, you know, fuck up their like future casting for any kind of like, you know, sequels or anything. And they're just making the big send off. It feels like a progressive movie if the movie came out like a decade ago.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like they're pushing anything today, like having a female hero. Like, wow.
For sure.
Especially because she doesn't become the hero until like the last fucking second.
Yeah. I thought Neil Patrick Harris's villain was kind of cool.
I thought he
like
was
Neil
great.
Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
I just like him in general, but yeah.
It was
he
had Neil Patrick Harris vibes, but he wasn't like.
It wasn't like you're watching Neil Patrick Harris. Like,
it was elevated a bit.
The character. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like I am the like, and that was the thing I thought was cool, was like, oh, they had like the architect, the person who wants to control everything running the Matrix, and that guy, you know, he got ousted, and now we have the psychologist, the person who's gonna like manipulate people.
Yes.
And that made perfect sense.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing that really blew me away is that like the things Neil Patrick Harris was saying were all like true, like they were really true.
Yeah.
Graining deep cuts into Neo's psychology, and it's not just like mumbo jumbo he's saying. Like these are all like this is the most. I mean, obviously you're writing the movie, you can write the character and then write being smart about it like any way you want. Like that's easy to do. But like the fact that like that even was written smart enough to be accurate, was shocking to me. Like I have so much appreciation for parts of the film until it like kind of devolves into.
Falls apart a little bit.
Just a big old dumb, let me float around, and you can basically see the wireframes, you know, how they're flying because their pants are being held up, and it's like, oh my god. But I like the film. I was surprised that the film's so controversial, but I guess I'm not surprised because there's so much trans stuff in the film that it probably triggers a lot of people.
Do you think people who were mad about it like either got the trans stuff or were mad about the trans stuff? I feel like,
I mean, a lot of people I think are under the surface upset about those aspects. A lot of people like criticize the film in like really dumb ways. It's been a while since I read the reviews. I know there was a lot of like conservative shit where they were just like they didn't even watch the movie. They're just like, oh, I'm not gonna watch the movie by her. Oh, okay. Like really emphasize they focus on the director's transness.
At least they didn't dead name her. You know? I'll take that.
They would, even in the conservative discourse that I read, it would be like 1 in 5 people would be like hard trying to dead name and be crazy. Yeah. The other people would generally like respect her name and who she is now. So that was impressive. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any other concluding thoughts?
So if I guess I'd give it like maybe a 6. Like it was passable. I mean, it wasn't the worst movie I've seen. What would you give it out of 10? It felt
long.
It was really long.
Which worried me. I pulled out my phone. I was like, how much longer this movie's gonna go on for?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like kind of like we said, after it got past the first or second
major like kind of plot hurdles, it feels like there's like a sprint.
Yeah.
But they're sitting still for a long time after that.
Yeah, it's a slow motion sprint, like the psychologist put Neo in double slow motion.
Yes, absolutely. That's how the movie feels at times. Which I thought that scene was really cool. The special effects.
That was awesome.
They were really good.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to show the power there.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of make it seem like, oh, dude, what the fuck are you gonna do? But then, I guess it doesn't really end up mattering anyway. But still, it's good to have those like kind of insurmountable stakes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And also, I think it was more like a psychological thing, not as much of like a,
totally.
I'm an immortal god, you can never hurt me.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm like a 6 or a 7, but only in like the parts that I like.
Right.
I feel like for me, like, I understand why the movie goes the way that it does, but like, I want to give it like a 3 because of what it actually ends up being, but it's constrained and it wouldn't exist otherwise. So I don't know. I feel like I have to bump it. It's like a 6 and then it's like down to like a 3, but then it comes back up to like a 5.
A roller coaster review. Yeah. Yeah.
So speaking of stars, I watched a movie and the movie is bad. I'm just going to tell you, The movie.
Okay.
Do you want to know the movie, or should we? Should be a mystery?
Let's I love mystery. What was in
It
theaters?
was in
Was it
theaters. It was a movie that came out
came out
about a decade
recently?
ago. It's
Okay.
a pseudo found footage.
Okay.
It
And it was in theater.
it was in theaters, pseudo found footage, and it's similar to Akira.
Okay.
Um, so, well, here I'll read some reviews because the 5-star
Yes.
reviews of this movie are interesting, very interesting experience because I read the 1-star reviews and the 5-star reviews. The 5-star reviews, even though they're praising something that I think is one of the worst movies I've ever seen,
Mhm.
the 5-star reviews feel smarter because the way they're talking about things are like they're definitely putting more effort and intelligence into it. Where the 1-star reviews are like, my DVD player doesn't work, or the movie is bad and dumb. Like 1 in 10 1-star reviews will have actual criticisms, but like a lot of the 5-star reviews, like they go into why they like it, and it causes me to kind of feel bad to like be so harsh on these people who are like, oh well, like I mean they like it. Some of them are just objectively wrong about like how the movie goes, but like they're giving a bad movie 5-star reviews. Of course they're idiots. So this first one here. This deserves 5 stars just for the fact that this is a semi-original plot line by using telekinesis and teenagers. This person has clearly never seen anime, ever. It does descend into cliche towards the end, but it can be forgiven. I liked how it was paced. Things progressed realistically. These are all lies. If you watch
Okay.
the movie, these are lies.
Okay.
The main trio of kids are not even friends before the movie starts, and then they time skip in the movie the part where they become friends. They do a
No
2-week
montage
time skip.
No montage or anything?
No montage. They do a 2-week time skip, and they have one of the characters say, oh dude, we've been hanging out. Like the guy's like, oh, my girlfriend's mad, and he's like, yeah, well, we've been hanging out for 2 weeks straight.
It's awesome.
So this guy's review is bullshit. Oh, I like this one. Basically, 3 teens get superpowers. I saw a woman on here that said something about antisocial behavior, and that's why the kid snapped.
Oh.
Yeah, so the climax of the film, the main character, Dane DeHaan, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a great incel actor because he looks like somebody who would struggle with women.
Okay.
He looks like he's never got a day of sleep. And at the end of the film, for no reason, he basically just becomes like a beast. Like he's just screaming and growling and just trying to kill everyone around him.
Okay.
And this transition happens in like 2 scenes where the character is like basically unconscious. Like,
And when he becomes conscious, he's a raving lunatic monster.
yeah, basically.
Well, I know the movie because I saw you shit posting it on Snapchat.
Oh yeah. It's Chronicle. It's
Oh yeah.
now I guess this movie was like low budget, and in that way, the special effects probably are a little bit better.
Right.
This movie, I can tell you one thing: the director is not Dane DeHaan, mind you. If you go to Amazon, it says Chronicle by Dane DeHaan. It is not by Dane DeHaan. It's by Josh Trank.
Well, Dane DeHaan is the dude playing Andrew.
Well, yeah, I know that, but it says the movie is by Dane DeHaan.
Oh, okay.
It's not
got
by
it.
Dane DeHaan. It's by the director. Anyway, Josh Trank, he's the guy who was supposed to do the Fantastic Four, remake, reboot thing or whatever, and then that movie sucked.
Mhm.
The movie was written by none other than Max Landis. I can tell you, the author Max Landis fully, I'm gonna say, gets minorities. And when I say gets, I want you to fill in another word there. Because every time a minority, other than one of the 3 guys, who is the guy who played Killmonger, I think. Other than that character, all the minorities in this movie are assholes. And they only exist to get killed by Dane DeHaan.
Okay.
we're shown the main character gets bullied, and it's like a Latino guy or Hispanic guy or something, and he's like talking in like some kind of accent. And later on in the film, he like rips the guy's teeth out. And then there's another part where there's like a black guy who's like bullying him, and I think that guy gets beat up too. And it's just interesting because like other than the black what is it, Michael B. Jordan, is that his name?
Yeah.
Other than his character, all the minorities are just exist to be bullies and then get killed.
Hey, that's fair.
But there's also, the movie had like a gay subplot that it wasn't intentionally writing, but was totally there, that they just like washed over by having, I don't know, the movie has a lot of structural problems. But yeah, basically Dane DeHaan wakes up. He's trying to buy insulin medicine or some shit for his mom. Max Landis doesn't know what illnesses are, so he can't give her like an actual illness. And she's just, quote, dying. And then so Dane DeHaan tries to go like buy the medicine. There's like a $700 copay because they're living in a state with dog shit, you know, state insurance. They have to be on state insurance because the dad doesn't have a job. And so then he tries to rob a gas station, and then he like gets knocked unconscious. And then when he's unconscious, his mom dies. And then his dad shows up in the most ridiculous dramatic scene ever filmed. The dad is like screaming at him that he killed his mom somehow. Mind you, the dad is written as an alcoholic abuser who is just like insanely stupid, and like it was like a Lifetime commercial movie thing. Okay. Where he's just evil all the time. So then Dane DeHaan wakes up, kills him, and then for some reason he's just like, even though his best bro is like, dude, bro, come on, man, we don't need to do this. Dane DeHaan's just like screaming constantly and like blowing shit up for no reason. Like he already killed his dad.
Okay. And he's having a bit of a moment.
And they're like flying all over the city, and he's just screaming constantly, and he's like trying to viciously kill his best friend for no reason. Just because the movie.
So the main character has like psychic powers, right? Like
they all have psychic powers, but for reasons. Oh, I know what happened. Right before this, yeah, they all get psychic powers from an alien MacGuffin early in the film. Dane DeHaan is the most strongest of the psychic users for no reason. But right before this ending scene, there's a random scene of Dane DeHaan in a junkyard recording himself crushing a car, and they had him like, you know, dub over like, I've been reading a lot about apex predators online, and I think I might be one.
That's awesome.
So that at the end of the film, I guess the reason he's like trying to just kill everyone is because he thinks he's an apex predator, but he's just screaming constantly. It's really dumb. And the 5-star reviews are just like people who like wish that they could be these characters.
Hey.
Here, this guy, he wrote The Immoral Compass. Humanity will have greater power someday. I wished for all my life to right those egregious wrongs the monsters of our world inflict on the innocent and the guilty alike. Wait, what? Okay. This movie makes me think it a good thing to not be a god. Because at the end of time, there will be nowhere to hide and deny. Deny the cost of responsibility. Deny the final instant of ultimate reckoning wherein all debts are paid with extreme prejudice.
What?
Do you have any idea what this guy's talking about?
No, I feel like he has like...
He's not talking about the movie, mind you.
He has his idea of what he thinks he's saying, but I don't think he's conveying it very well.
Yeah, like he's just kind of wishy-washy about like, oh, I saw this movie and it made me think about like my own moral framework of how I wish I want to kill people, but then like I could get justice upon in the future, so maybe I don't do bad things. Like he's afraid of like this like he's afraid of this like cosmic karmic reprisal.
Okay. I saw this movie. Now I'm pissed.
There was a review that said I saw the movie. Now I'm pissed. That would be amazing. The thing that blows my mind is that people say that like the acting is good or the performances are good. The acting is actually pretty good.
Pretty good. Well, that's kind of dabbing with fame praise. Like it's actually
pretty good, you know, like they thought.
I don't know why everyone says it sucks ass. This is pretty good.
Like The thing that blows my mind is that this movie has a 4.5-star average rating, and it has 4,200, and since I first looked at it, 10 more reviews.
So you said it's in theater. Like, did it get like a
Yeah, I remember
release
seeing
later?
I remember seeing trailers for this movie.
Oh, well, yeah. I thought. See, when I asked if it was in theaters, I meant like now. It's in
Oh
theaters.
no, I just meant like it
Like,
was in theater. Like it wasn't like so
got it.
underground that it never hit theaters.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry, the temporal aspect was lost on me.
You led me astray, as if it actually mattered. I remember. Yeah, like you said, I remember seeing commercials for this. So it's all found footage. I'm sure
Well, it's
how
not
they
really
made that
all found
happen
footage.
is, like,
Okay,
ham-fisted.
it's really yeah, it's totally is. So the reason the main character starts recording is because under the surface he wants to record his dad abusing him, but the stated reason, and the reason that the film actually buys into, is that he just arbitrarily wants to start recording things. So he brings the camera to school, he gets bullied, he records himself eating lunch on the bleachers, and the camera is aimed at the cheerleaders, and I'm just like, this is really like, did they realize how fucking weird this is? And then one of the girls comes over and she's like, could you fucking not record us? And which I thought was actually pretty funny.
That's
But
good.
so you think the film is like critical of like kind of maybe how voyeuristic the main character is. And then 20 minutes later, after they get their superpowers, the things that they do when they go to school are use their powers to get upskirt shots of girls. And there's not really an admonishment of this. There's not really anything that like karmically or in the film is against them. Like all the three guys are like into it and they're kind of giggling about it. And then it isn't until something more serious happens where the guy's like, one of the guys is like, okay, we need to have rules because we need to make sure that we need to have rules. Like, he doesn't really have reasons, but they need to have rules. And the rules only exist to push the plot forward to have something bad happen later on. Which is meant to be like the kind of breakdown in like Akira and is his name Kaneda? I don't remember the characters from the Akira movie.
I've actually never
You've never seen Akira?
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, the movie's not very great. It's just
I'm the worst weeb.
Yeah, you are the worst weeb. Akira's not that great of a movie. The action is good, but the art style is some of the hideously well-drawn art I've ever seen. Because they all have like squished head syndrome.
Okay.
They all have like pumpkin heads. It's really disgusting. But yeah, like it was really weird because like most of the 1-star reviews are people just complaining about the shaky camness. But like the movie isn't actually that much of a shaky cam because, and they have a good conceit, he's hovering the camera with his levitation powers around him the whole time.
Right.
And then at the end of the movie, there's a part where the main character, Dane DeHaan, gets stabbed through the heart, and they edit in the live found footage editing, they play it twice.
Play what twice?
Like, they play the shot twice. Like, one of the conceits of found footage is like you're not editing the footage.
Oh, right.
You know, like, because that is part of the buy-in.
Yeah.
Now, I was watching this with somebody, and they brought up, well, it is 2 different angles, and they have a bunch of like cell phones that are like around people recording. And I was like, I get that, but the shot isn't even cool enough to repeat.
Right.
Like, it felt like a really cheap edit because I don't know. I think it's hyper cringe whenever a movie like will like repeat show an action unless there's like a psychological like reason for it to do when you're doing some kind of like temporal expansion or something, like in My Girl Friday or whatever. Like when you're trying to show that time is passing really fast or time is passing really slow, and you do a different kind of editing style to match that. This movie isn't doing that. This movie isn't that smart. This movie is just like, oh, this is the biggest shot in our movie. We need to replay it at least once. Which is,
It's for emphasis.
Yeah, it is for emphasis. But like, I feel like it would have been better if it just hanged there. Like, I don't like when films cut a lot.
Oh, well, yeah, that's just a given.
So to wrap up the film, the one surviving bro dude who is the weed stoner man, he flies to Tibet, and he puts the camera down, and he's like talking to the camera as if Dane DeHaan is the camera and he's alive. And then he just puts the camera recording Tibet as, I guess, he's gonna like go fuck all the Tibetan monk girls or something. I have no idea. It's trying to be very emotionally symbolic, but the problem is Dane DeHaan's character is like just a raging apex predator incel massacre at the end of the film. Like, I don't know. It's interesting though to see how well received the movie is, despite like how, oh my god, this guy wrote his review, I am the apex predator.
That's like the title for his review.
That's the title of his review.
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, some of the Amazon reviews, the titles like just take the cake.
Yeah,
they really steal the show.
The fact that he thought that was a cool line.
That's like so cool.
Which is like, why is he in the junkyard crushing cars? What the?
Because he had nothing else he could be crushing, and it's a show of his power.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like, oh my god, it's just so stupid.
Where incels like to go is in junkyards. I thought you knew. Being an incel yourself.
Yeah, I mean, me and my dad used to hang out in the junkyards because he would try to find old car parts and stuff. So that's fun. That's the it's not even what's the C word where they're like kind of related but not causal. It's correlated. No, it is absolutely causal. If you have the amount of time you spend in a junkyard is directly proportional to the amount of time that you will be an incel. When I was a young lad, I spent time in the junkyard, and therefore that is why I was not in a relationship for like, I don't think it was like really 8 years, but it was a long time. Okay. So like, that's where I came from. There's just a stink from the junkyard that gets on you.
Just, yeah, it's the junkyard stink. The women, it's like a reverse pheromone.
Here's the best title for the review. I almost turned it off. What a horrible mistake that would have been. 5-star review.
Well, it's funny, you know, it is the literal antithesis of a lot of the 1-star reviews I see, where they're like, I got 10 minutes and I turned it off and I'm so happy I did. I'm so glad I didn't waste my fucking time with this. This good trash of a movie.
Oh my god. Okay. So, speaking of junkyard,
our hometown.
Hometown is a junkyard. So you have a story about some kind of hometown character that.
Yeah.
So what did this person do? What did this happening?
All right. So I visit with my grandmother every once in a while, and one time she was telling me about this. I don't know. She's kind of weird sometimes. She's
like a busybody kind of weird.
Yeah. It's just really like interesting what she like takes interest in.
Yeah.
Like the people and stuff, because, you know, I mean, she's like retired. She just, you know, will kind of talk to anybody kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So there was this, I don't know the whole story, you know, she gave me a whole, like the play-by-play, but.
Well, tell it as you understand it.
Okay. So long story short, somebody helped her at a grocery store. And she thought that he went like above and beyond, so she wanted to, like,
pay it back.
Kind of pay it back. Yeah. She's like, "Is there anything I can do? Like, can I talk to a manager or something? Like, I thought you were really good." Blah blah blah. He's like, "Well, you can tell them to nominate me for like, you know, basically employee of the month type thing."
So like, he does work there, actually.
He actually works there.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought the twist was going to be he doesn't work there.
It's not like, he works there. And
it's not a Darman video.
No, it wasn't a total subversion of our expectations. although a little bit.
Okay.
So she recommends him for this like in-store award, whatever. And then like then she tells me about this thing happening. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then a few weeks later, she says that she like, oh yeah, because he told her that he makes music. So she wanted to get his name So to have me look up his music for him.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, my grandma is such a holdout for technology. She doesn't have a cell phone. She doesn't have Wi-Fi in her house. She doesn't have she's
Does she
off
have a
the
CD
grid.
player?
She has a CD player. She's
Okay.
not let's just say she's analog.
Analog? Yeah,
I
that's a
think
nice
that's
way to say
good
it.
way. I think that's a good way of putting it. She's very analog.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
she has like an email account, but she'll only access it at the library kind of thing. Like she doesn't have
Oh,
anything in her
okay, yeah.
house, you know? She's not like Amish about it. She just wants nothing to do with it. She's just checked
Okay.
out of
So
society.
she gets his name. He's producing
So
music.
she goes to, well, she didn't get his name.
Oh.
But so then she went back
Oh.
a few weeks later and found him and got his name. But then, so she's like, yeah, I had, like investigators have like the that notepad
Yeah.
that like folds up. She's like, I had my notepad and I had a pen and I was ready and I was like, okay, what's your name? And then he takes out his own notepad and starts writing all this stuff down and then gives it to me. And then then she hands me the piece of paper that he gave to her. I wish I kept it now. But he wrote down 3 URLs.
He wrote down URLs.
He wrote down URLs. And one is therealbillgates.com. Another one
Are these websites
is,
active? Can I go check them out?
Yeah. Here, let me see. The real Bill Gates. If you let's see. I swear to God, this is why I feel like I should have saved it, but I swear to God, it was like therealbillgates.com or some shit like that. It's basically conspiracy theory stuff, right?
Oh,
like
absolutely.
About how,
that's immediately what I thought.
How Bill Gates is something vaccine, something population control. Fill in the blanks with whatever lunacy you want to believe.
Okay.
Another was about like protecting children from some kind of, I don't know if it was like liberal education or something. It was all conspiracy theory stuff.
So,
and then no, go ahead.
Okay, I just need to take a moment here. So
Yeah.
Your grandma goes back to the grocery store to get this young. Is he a younger person? What was his age, do you think?
I think he was maybe around our age.
Okay, so she goes back there to get information to make good on her indebtedness that she feels. She wants to do something good back for this person because he helped her. And what he hands back to her are 3 conspiracy URLs.
Yes. 110%.
What the literal fuck?
And then instead of writing his actual name down, he gave her his handle.
Like his online handle name?
Yes.
Were you able to find him?
I looked it up. What was the conservative Facebook thing?
Oh, well, fuck. There was Gab was conservative Twitter.
Okay.
Where there was a lot of anti-Semitic people.
Yeah.
I don't know what conservative Facebook was.
But there was one that they were like promoting as maybe it was.
There was like truth something, like truthyism or something social media that Trump was pushing, but I don't know if that's even manifested at all.
It was one of his secretaries or something was
okay. So, but this is where his account was on?
His account was on that.
Oh, wow.
And it was maybe his internet handle was The Real Bill Gates. What if I just type in The Real Bill Gates?
Well, it sounds like your grandma was getting inducted into the alt-right pipeline.
That's exactly what he was trying to do, and that's why it was
so fucked up.
That's the crazy thing, because he was probably like, oh yeah, this nice meaning old lady.
Yeah,
I can just. It's prey. It's like predatory.
Yeah, I think it's also worse than that though. I think he's like, I don't really care about this person. I don't want them to give anything, but here's some Like, here's this shit. Like, I feel like that's the
Yeah.
kind of thing I would do where, like, look, I don't really care about you trying to be good or nice or whatever. Like, here, you go to this shit. This is the shit that I really care about. You know?
Yeah.
Like, this dumb, stupid shit. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I could
it
see
was-
like a edgier, doofier, no, not going anywhere in life version of me having this exact kind of reaction to somebody who's like trying to be nice to me, just like fuck off, like trying to push them away. But like,
Yeah.
you know,
But I think he's so bought into
oh,
that
if you're doing that kind of shit, like you're not embarrassed about it. Oh, absolutely.
because yeah, I mean, I didn't check out any of his music or anything, but
Oh, darn.
yeah,
Could
I
have
mean, I
been
guess,
good.
well, maybe we could have a follow-up.
Yeah, we'll have to do a
I-
follow-up.
I wonder if she's, I like highly doubt she saved that piece of paper. I should have saved it, dude. Because it was just, it was insane. It was absolutely nuts to see. Because it totally escalated from, she's telling me about like this doofus that helped her at the grocery store to he's trying to
conspiratorial
like
inviter.
put me down the conspiracy theory pipeline. Like that's what I told her. I'm like, he's trying to like indoctrinate you into this garbage.
And this crazy shit. Wow. And so is that where it ends? Is there?
Yeah, that's where
That's where it
ended.
ends. But there could be more.
There could
Part
very
2
well-
coming.
She probably went to the you know what, actually, yes. Oh, this just in. My grandma actually went to the grocery store and punched him in the face. For
Amazing.
trying to indoctrinate her into.
You know what? I think we gotta do a round of clappa.
We gotta,
Clappa, keepu. Do
clappa.
post that.
Please do post that.
Please do post clappas. Clappas in the chat for grandma.
Who's in the chat, y'all?
That is so.
But that
do you think he
was-
still
that
works there? Where is he now? Let's
Oh,
do a
I'm
VH1. Where is
Yeah.
he now?
Where are they now?
Where are they
Yeah,
now?
he's
Do you think he
probably-
took place in January 6th?
I mean, if not in spirit, yeah.
Was he at the
probably.
Freedom Convoy?
He was definitely. Did you see the Channel 5 thing?
I watched part of it. When I saw it was like hours long, I was like, okay, maybe some other day.
It was he's becoming a little too like documentarian.
Yeah, he's
About-
not smart
about
enough to be a
things.
documentary. He should not do that.
Oh,
He should-
totally,
No,
dude,
he
he
is
isn't
not smart. He just
He's
needs to
party-
stand there, be like
Yeah.
a normal person, a straight
Yes.
man to the crazy people.
Yes.
That's it. As soon as he reveals any kind of like beyond extra intent, because like obviously they edit in a way to like show you the craziest nut jobs at these places, but like that's where it lost me because he's not smart.
No, he's just a party bro.
Yeah,
that-
he just
that
needs to
is, like-
stand there and listen, and that's what he
Yeah,
does really
well,
well.
And I think he does have like a natural charisma, and that's why people are like willing to kind of spill their guts,
Yeah.
like they do. So that actually reminded me of a thought that I had with I don't know. I just feel like people who want to like make themselves stars in like documentary type stuff like that are almost always, I don't want to say bad people, but
I mean, anybody who wants
reason-
fame is like just lame.
inherently not good.
You
Yeah.
know? Like it's just
Yeah.
lame.
The reason I thought of that was the Super Size Me guy,
Oh yeah,
because he went on to like do all these other stupid
all the other stupid things,
stunts,
and at that point, it's
stunts.
just like I need
Stunts.
to maintain my fame and this is like my niche now, and it's
Yeah.
like it was funny
Yeah.
once, but like come on, dude, like this shit's so stupid. Of course, McDonald's for every meal is bad. Like we fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
that was the thing I thought. I'm like, I can't believe so many people like
Are
got
shocked
sucked
by
in-
this.
got
Like,
sucked into that. It's like, yeah, no wonder. Yeah, if you eat any kind of garbage consistently, of
yeah.
course
or they're
your
like,
body's gonna
or
not be
just,
happy
I don't know,
with
like
you.
yeah, it's pushed back against bad food in the worst way possible because it's like, oh my god, preservatives are bad. Oh my god, this is bad. And it's like, you understand that preservatives exist so that we can provide food to people across the world in a more economically viable and sustainable way. Like the reason you preserve food is so that you have things that you can eat, for a few years out. Like if you go to the grocery store, if you ever actually look at how long food lasts, after 5 years, if all food production stopped, there would be nothing left to eat. Like even like 2 years, there wouldn't. Like let's say you're a sole person, zombie scenario. You're the sole person and you're just like looting a grocery store. In 2 years, most of the food's going to be bad except for canned stuff. And canned stuff, quote, goes bad, after like, 2 to 4 years or so. Like there isn't like a long-term, shit lasts forever. But people act like preservatives and, what's that other shit that they put in like they want like organic chicken and all this stuff. And it's like, you understand milk isn't actually milk. Like milk is fortified with vitamins because before milk was fortified, children were dying of polio and other shit like that. Like just because something is not natural doesn't mean that it's the worst thing ever. Like I don't know. Like that guy's documentary went down that like, oh, food is bad for these like really like stupid reasons. And it's like, you're engaging with it in such a stupid way. Of course it's going to be bad for you.
Right, and not exercising too, right? I
think he like, I'm getting really depressed. I think that was a big part of it. It's like, well, of course.
Go touch grass.
Like go for a walk. Go for a walk and stop you're eating like salty, sugary fries. Like, like it just seems like such a like, oh my God, I can't believe how unhealthy. And like there was one, I don't know if you remember the documentary very well, but there's one part where they put like a regular burger or like next to like a McDonald's thing or something, like look how long it takes to mold or whatever. And it's like, I don't really trust how you set this test up. Yeah. And also like a burger with preservatives that is created for the purpose of freezing and unthawing and cooking against ground beef. Of course the ground beef will decay in the natural way that it does at a faster rate than the thing with preservatives. Like it feels like it's like shocking for people that just don't know anything about food. And the things that I know about food are just from working in a kitchen. I only worked in a kitchen for like 6 years, but I wasn't really like that intimately into it. And it's not like I learned that much. But it's just like, if you can eat what you want as long as you just adapt your lifestyle around it.
Oh, definitely.
Because I eat exactly what I want. I've never really worried about getting overweight.
How much do you think genes plays into that though?
I think this is what I would say my bio teacher said. I'm just going to say what he said, is that the thing that matters is the behaviors instilled into you regarding food from your parents. Like how they eat, how they feed you basically sets you up whether you're like fucked or not. Because by the time you're like have any agency around food, when you're like teens and stuff, so like you're already so set and you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like genes obviously do play a role because like one of the biggest epigenetic studies on the Belgium children after World War II was that the families didn't have enough food, so the kids, even though the war's over and they can have food again, right? But the environment changed their genetics such that their bodies were incredibly good at retaining fat because they needed to be, because they were having a lower caloric intake because there was a lack of food available in infancy and in utero. And like that caused a genetic change. So like obviously, absolutely, genetics are so fucking important. And it can suck if you get some bad ones. I definitely feel like I'm pretty blessed because I've never... But like it's really hard for me to overeat, which also was probably like a genetic thing. Like,
right.
Like because I've had this conversation with some friends, especially one in particular, and he would be like jealous that like, and we talked about it one time because he went on like a big health binge, and he's like, yeah, like you can eat and like you're full and then you're just done. That's it. But like I never feel that. Like I have to choose to stop.
That's nuts to me, man.
Yeah, well, and like I couldn't. That sounds like hell. I couldn't eat that. I would be fat. I would absolutely be fat if I didn't have experienced that.
It's funny, I have that same exact thought when it comes to alcohol. Because I'll drink, and then I get to a point I'm like, if I drink anymore, I'm going to throw up, or whatever. Like, if I even touched a bottle, I would be like, this is disgusting. Like, I can't keep drinking this. But then I see other people who can just...
Yeah.
Go.
I can't believe how much people can drink.
That's insane to me.
It is insane. I don't think I'm as yeah, it's crazy. I don't think I'm as like sensitive to that. Like if I feel like I drink more, I'm gonna vomit. Like I usually get like lost, and there's a period where like I'm like, this is gonna be bad later, and like usually in 2 hours or less, then it's gonna hit me. And I have like really bad hangover like symptoms, even if I don't drink like a lot. Like it's just bad. I can't drink. I can't imagine like drinking 2 days in a row. I don't know how anyone fucking does that.
I know.
Like, how do you drink a bunch? You have shit sleep, then somehow you have no, like, you're able to drink again. Like, drinking is something that's very like genetic. It has to be.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's probably genetics.
Yeah,
like
genetic.
that.
Well, also like I should include this because I'm in a substance abuse class. But the big thing about alcohol too is tolerance. But something I've learned, and this is I think is the most interesting thing. I mean, maybe we can end on this because we're kind of getting near our time here. Time for today. You know, I have to end the therapy session. But your tolerance is just your psychological tolerance to the effects of like the reduced inhibitions and things like that.
Okay.
The amount of alcohol in your body, regardless of your tolerance, still is having a negative impact on the body's functioning.
Right.
So like,
it's
people bragging about being able to drink a lot and not feel drunk are unironically fucking idiots. Because they're bragging about needing to ingest more of a harmful substance to get the same effect that I can get for cheaper.
Yeah.
You know? That's something that I always thought was really funny in drinking culture. It's like, oh, I can drink so much. It's like, so you need to, one, invest more money and to put more shit in your body because your body still needs to clean out all that fucking alcohol. And it's a lot of fucking work to do that. So like, it's really easy to have like a lot of withdrawal symptoms when it comes to alcohol because it fucks your dietary completely. You need to like be taking your gummy vites. Absolutely. Oh, no, this is a good road to go down.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly why I thought. I mean, we both have thought why we need a podcast because like our conversations go into like very interesting routes at times.
Yeah, I feel like this was one of the few ones where it actually went around in ways really naturally.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish we had more time. I haven't eaten. I'm starving.
No,
I need to get dinner.
I have to, relieve myself as well. So this is
yeah. As soon as this ends, I'm gonna be running down the street because I need to get home to masturbate. I'm actually in the library right now, and everyone's looking at me.
Bro. I thought you knew you can do that there. They can't stop you.
They can't. Oh, that's where all those like fucking those videos have been coming from. They can do that. Oh my god, I remember seeing that was that big thing years ago on 4chan, or not on 4chan. It was on Reddit. There was like so many fucking videos of like, I think was it like the beginning of COVID or something, where like so many fucking girls were doing like voyeur shit in libraries. It was like the hugest fucking shit. I couldn't believe it. I was like, who are these perverts?
Well, like the girls were doing.
Yeah, the girls, they'd be like, reading a book in like a cubby in the library, and they'd have like their camera set up or like their laptop, and then they'd be wearing something where they can like flash or whatever.
That Kinkster stuff's been there for a while.
It seemed like it blew up like a few years ago on Reddit, and I was just like, what the fuck is all this shit? That was after that. That was when I like started like I just went like unsubbed from all these like things that were like connecting to this because I was just like, I was just like, I'm not, whatever's going on, I'm not into it. Yeah. I don't want to see any of this anymore. Oh my god.
Anyways, let's wrap this up. We're good.
The Time Capsule Podcast. I'm Borley Borlstein.
I'm Fauntleroy. Clap, let's get out of here.
Leave a fucking viewer mail, you jackasses.
Yeah, leave a viewer mail, asshole.
Bye.
Talking to you. Bye.